Good afternoon. It's still Monday, April 7th. It's still sine die, and we're going to look at about a dozen concurrences, and we're going to start with Nathan.
First on your list is Senate Bill 376, which, as passed by the Senate, requires the Department of Health, on request of a county, to delegate to the county the authority to conduct surveys and complaint investigations in nursing homes in the county. The House struck the bill as it passed the Senate and then proposed a version that would require the Department of Health, if the Department of Health is 6 months or more behind the federal requirements for conducting surveys, a county may request, and the Secretary must delegate the authority. My understanding is that the Senate sponsor of the bill would urge the committee to not concur and suggest that the House recede, and therefore a motion to not concur would be appropriate.
And can we appoint a conference committee yet?
Is
that now?
Yes.
All right, Madam Chair, I would ask that we do that, please.
Well, you have a motion to not recede.
Okay.
Okay, and I need
So
a
moved.
second. Okay, everyone that agrees? Okay, thank you, and we'll appoint the conference committee. I think you probably want to be on it.
I think I would love to chair it, Madam Chair.
Okay, who would you like for your second?
With you. I'm a co-sponsor.
Okay, Senator Reedy says he's all
Okay.
in.
Fight.
So how about Senator Hayes with me?
Willie Mason.
Okay, so we have conference committee conferees are Senator Kramer Chair, Senator Hayes, and Senator Reedy. Thank you.
Next on the list is Senate Bill 740, which authorizes each healthcare facility to screen each patient for information on the patient's eligibility as a service member, community member, and then include that information in the patient's medical record. The House amendments conform the definition of service member and veterans to definitions of those terms that are used throughout the code. I reached out to the Senate sponsor of the bill, and I am told that he is fine with the amendments, and therefore a motion to concur would be appropriate.
May I have a motion to concur? Senator Ellis, can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Senator Kramer? All in favor of the motion to concur on Senate Bill 740? Everybody okay? Okay, unanimous. Amber, you're
All right.
next.
Yes, I'm next, Madam Chair, and 7 of the bills on the list are mine, so I've got the big stack here. So we're going to start with Senate Bill 49 and work our way down from there. Senate Bill 49 establishes a regulatory framework to govern automatic renewals between a consumer and a seller in which a paid subscription or purchasing agreement is automatically renewed for a subsequent term, and requires that the seller allow the consumer to terminate an automatic renewal in a simple and widely available mechanism. The House amendment simply conformed the Senate bill to the House bill as it passed the Senate. So it is now in the same posture as the House bill we passed, so a motion to concur would be appropriate.
Senator, thank you, Senator Kramer. Second, please.
Second.
Senator Mounts. All in favor of the motion to concur on that's Senate Bill 49. Thank you.
Next on your list is Senate Bill 299, which generally exempts a cannabis agent that is a security guard or security guard agency from the requirement to obtain an additional criminal history records check. The House amendments expand the scope of the bill to additional employer types. This is the same amendment that we added onto House Bill 1347. So these amendments conform the Senate bill to its House cross-file as it passed the Senate. A motion to concur would therefore be appropriate.
Senator Reedy, who seconded? Senator Washington. Okay, all in favor of Senate Bill 299 concurrence? Unanimous vote. Thank you.
Senate Bill 357 requires the Prescription Drug Affordability Board to determine whether it's in the best interest of the state to set upper payment limits for purchases and payer reimbursements of prescription drug products in the state. That in the board's determination have led to or will lead to an affordability challenge. The House amendments again conform the Senate bill to the House cross-file as it passed the Senate. Therefore, a motion to concur would be appropriate.
Motion to concur on Senate Bill 357. Senator Kramer, Senator Mounts. Thank you. All in favor of the concurrence on 357? Unanimous vote, thank you.
Wasn't,
You didn't vote?
it's just about the amendments, right? It's not about the bills.
Right.
That's fine.
Well, it's concur to,
Pass the bill.
Yeah.
So I'll vote no.
okay. All right. Do we need to call the roll, Tammy? You got it. Anybody else voting no? Okay. Thank you.
You're gonna be primary.
I don't get confused in voting.
Okay. Next on your list is Senate Bill 365. This is the Department of Commerce Nonprofit Organizations Navigator Bill, which establishes the Nonprofit Organizations Navigator within the Department of Commerce to provide technical assistance to nonprofit organizations. Finance Committee added an amendment onto the bill limiting the application. The amendment was proffered by Senator Ellis, I believe, and it just restricted the services to nonprofit organizations that, or excludes nonprofit organizations that have anyone earning an annual compensation exceeding $250,000 as a salary. We did receive a letter from the Department of Commerce. So what's been done in the House is they've struck that from the bill. We've received a letter from the Department of Commerce asking the committee to concur in striking that language, but I know Senator Ellis felt very, very strongly about this being limited. So it's the will of the committee what to do with this amendment.
Senator Ellis, how important is that amendment?
Well, move to not concur. So,
Okay.
you know, we have this, the large people, large organizations, I should say, who would dominate the smaller nonprofits, I do believe. And I think the service using public help should be reserved for those who are really doing a lot of volunteer work, not for the nonprofits paying their CEOs and others $1 million plus a year, so.
So your motion is to not concur. Do I
My
have a
motion is not to
second?
concur.
Who, I'm sorry, Senator Washington? Okay. So we have a non-concur. I know.
Are we asking the House to recede, or would the committee like to appoint conferees?
We-
Which one is easier and quickest?
Depends on what you want the outcome to be. A conference committee would possibly get this resolved quicker unless the House is willing to recede from their amendments. We can just send it back and ask them to recede.
Conference committee, okay. So we move not to concur, and we select a
Recommend.
conference committee.
Correct.
And I bet Senator Ellis would like to chair that conference committee. And who would you like on the conference committee with you?
Got Ben Kramer, he's on one.
Senator Washington.
Okay? And Mounts. Okay, so we have a conferees are Senator Ellis, Chair, Senator Washington, and Senator Mounts. Thank you.
Okay, next down on your list is going to be down to Senate Bill 689, which requires banking institutions, credit unions, and mortgage lenders to include a provision in all conventional home mortgage loans that allows any of the existing borrowers to purchase the property interest of other borrowers in the event of a divorce. The House amendment simply conformed the Senate bill to its House cross-file as it passed the Senate. A motion to concur would therefore be appropriate.
Senator Washington moved to concur. Do I have a second? Senator Gall, this was your bill, right?
One, delegation, I'm sorry, which
689?
Home mortgage loans.
one? Oh, we're already all the way down there.
Yeah.
Yes,
And the motion is to concur.
And these amendments are the same as what we added onto the House bill with the retroactivity. It just adds that extra clause to the retroactivity, and the bills are now identical.
Tell me again, what's the extra clause?
The extra clause clarifies that if the divorce has to happen on or after the effective date of the bill for the bill to apply.
What is the,
But that would be to mortgages that were in existence prior to the
Still,
bill's
yeah,
effective.
well, just
Right.
the divorce has to happen post.
Correct.
Okay, sure,
Okay, so
yeah.
Senator Giles seconds. All in favor of the concurrence? Senator Reedy, okay? Okay.
Senate Bill 972, this is a local liquor bill from Anne Arundel County that increases from 3 to 5 the number of members on the Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners that the governor must appoint. It still alters the appointment process and alters the license application process. However, the House amendments alter some of the membership and appointment requirements in the bill and remove the fines that were originally in the bill. There is a letter of support for the bill as amended from the Anne Arundel County Senate delegation, so a motion to concur would be appropriate.
Okay, Senator Washington and Senator Lamb, all in favor of the motion to concur on 917? Thank you.
And the last on my list is Senate Bill 1026 down at the bottom, which generally exempts from state licensure a passive trust that simply acquires a mortgage loan but does not make mortgage loans, is not a mortgage broker or servicer, and does not engage in servicing mortgage loans. The bill also establishes the Maryland Licensing Work Group staffed by the Office of Financial Regulation to study and make recommendations on licensing requirements for financial service providers in the state. The House amendment simply conform this Senate bill to its House cross file as amended by our committee and passed by the Senate.
Senator Reedy and Senator Ellis, all in favor of the concurrence? Okay, unanimous. All right, you got a couple more?
Three more.
Okay.
If you go to the top of the list, Senate Bill 26, this is Senator Kramer's Davis Martinez Public Employee Health and Safety, or Safety and Health Act. Senate Bill 26 establishes standards for protecting employees of public bodies from workplace violence as part of the WorkMOSH program. The House expanded their bill when they sent it over here, which you passed. The House amendments now conform the Senate bill to the House bill, establishing the use of body-worn cameras by correctional officers by standards based on the Commission on Correctional Standards, and clarify that existing penalties that apply to public bodies do not apply to elevators in public buildings. And they also did not put in that language about collective bargaining.
so the bills are now in the same.
The bills are in the same posture.
So we want to move to concur.
You want to move to concur?
Move to concur.
Thank you, Senator Kramer and Senator Ellis, all in favor of concurrence on Senate Bill 26. Okay, unanimous vote. Go ahead, David.
Okay, next bill is Senate Bill 474. This is Senator Beidel's bill about expanding the contents of notice carriers must provide to members and others when a carrier renders a non-emergency adverse decision or grievance decision. If you recall, it requires if decisions increase by a certain amount, they have to submit a report. The House amendments, the House expanded the bill and added a few other things to it. You passed the House bill. The House amendments alter the effective date for certain provisions of the bill, moving up the taking out the name of the person who makes a decision and replaces it with a unique identifier. That's going to be moved up to June 1st, June 1st this year. Clarifies posting requirements on private review agents' websites, requires information aggregated by zip code, and requires private review agent to have a direct telephone number and monitored email address dedicated to utilization review. If the House and the Senate bills are now in the same posture, so if you like what you've done, you'd like to move to concur here.
Motion to concur.
Move to concur, Madam.
Senator Kramer, I need a second. Senator Washington. Thank you.
Okay, the next bill is Senate Bill 662. I may need help from Senator Hayes on this bill. Yes, it's a Baltimore City alcohol bill that in the 46th district, among other things, authorizes a license or the transfer of a license to another location if the license holder has received a letter of support from the place of worship or school. The House offered amendments that would have conformed the bill to the House bill as you passed, but there was a floor amendment added on the House side that has to deal with another alcohol district, Senator Hayes's, I believe, and it corrects an oversight. But if you want more explanation about what this specific amendment, Senator Hayes can fill you in.
Sure, it's very, it's very simple. We created a new license in my legislative district. It was just a beer and wine license. It should have been a beer, wine, and liquor license. And so this is the last Baltimore City liquor bill that existed that we could put an amendment on. And so we put it on the 46th district with the approval of the Senate President.
Yes,
Move
you also have a letter from the city delegation,
Right.
city senators.
Motion to concur.
Second, Senator Gall.
No debate.
I was interested about the note from the church or something like that. Did you say that?
Oh, no, that was in the bill already. That's the bill's already passed, that if these licenses have to have some authorization from the local.
That's right.
You can't go a block in Baltimore City without hitting a church, so,
Or a liquor store.
or a liquor store.
All right, we're caught up? Thank you.